Do you know how animals or birds travel all over the world? They don't have any GPS system or site indication technology. In today's video, we will know how animals know the way to go from one country to another. Every year in winter about 300 species of birds come to temperate country from Siberia, Mongolia, Tibetan Plateau and Himalayas. They prefer the temperate climate of temperate country. Also, they meet their food needs from the shallow rivers, canals and lakes of these country. Every year from October to the beginning of March, the forests and swamps of this country become the habitat of these guest birds. Just as the guest birds migrate from different parts of the world in search of suitable weather and food, the migration of other animals is also happening all over the world. From small insects to giant blue whales, everyone is migrating from one place to another for various reasons including food, habitat, breeding. Birds migrate mainly in search of suitable habitat and food. When winter adversity begins, they move to relatively warmer regions. Birds of the Arctic tern species fly from one pole of the Earth to another throughout the year in search of warmer regions. In the Arctic region in the north when severe winters then drift towards the Antarctic in the south where summer is just beginning. They are thought to travel about 25,000 miles a year. The path that birds follow is called a flyway. It is not yet clear to scientists how they follow this flyway and determine the direction throughout the year. They are thought to have an internal GPS, global positioning system, that helps them follow the same pattern every time they move. In this case, the sun and the stars follow. Many people think that birds can recognize different landmarks on the way to flight. Some of the limbs work in the bird's extraordinary ability to determine direction. The north direction can be determined by the interaction of a particular part of the eye and the brain. A small amount of iron in the inner ear can determine the direction using the Earth's magnetic field. Can recognize different places using olfactory power. The most interesting thing is that birds use the nerves in their beaks to determine the angle between the Earth's magnetic field and the Earth. Monarch butterflies travel from Mexico to Canada in about 5 months for 3 generations. The 4th generation returns to Mexico, thus completing a transmigration cycle of 4 generations. Then start again. They find their way by following the sun and Earth's magnetic fields from their own innate properties without any guidance. By making a protein in the brain, they can determine the position of the sun. This multi-generational transfer is researched using a form of electronic tag. Each year, about 1 million wildebeests and 2 million zebras follow a 300-mile cycle through Tanzania and Kenya, some of which are dangerous. Following the monsoon rains, they go in search of green meadows. The idea of scientists is that they determine the direction with the help of the smell of the soil. Female sperm whales travel with their young to warmer waters in search of food. Male whales, on the other hand, live in the colder waters of the Arctic. Every year, they meet in the Atlantic Ocean. Red crabs lay eggs in the sea which turn from larvae into small crabs and come ashore. From there they move in search of food. Later, they return to the sea to lay their eggs. Since animals do not have a direction-finding compass, map, road sign, or GPS, they have to use a few different methods of finding direction. Some animals genetically inherit these traits from their predecessors. Some animals can find their way on land by remembering different rivers, mountains, etc. Directionality in migration is inherent in some species. The direction is also determined by looking at the position of moon-sun, stars. Some animals can recognize bright stars, including the aurora borealis. This is how mallard ducks find their way north. Some use scent to determine direction. Earth's magnetic field plays a special role in determining the orientation of animals. Aquatic animals follow the direction of the current to different places. Animals also aid in direction finding by communicating among themselves. Whales make sounds in this way to communicate their location to others. There are some reasons for migration between animals, or at certain times they may realize that it is time to migrate. The increase and decrease of day and nighttime is one of them. The longer the day, the longer the sun stays, the higher the temperature in all these places. And the shorter the day, the lower the temperature. Thus the change in temperature makes the weather dry and rough, which indicates the migration of animals. Due to lack of food and water, animals travel in search of them. When the amount of fat in the body decreases, some animals go out in search of new food. The circadian rhythm of the body also plays a special role in the transfer. This allows them to understand when to move. Every year at the beginning of December, thousands of zebras migrate about 240 kilometers from northern Namibia. Mr. crossed the road south to Nzaipan National Park in Botswana in search of grasslands. After 2 months, he returned to Namibia by the same route. Elephants usually travel short distances. But a group of elephants surprised everyone about 500 kilometers from China's Xishuangbanna National Nature Reserve near the border of Myanmar. Mr. crossed the road and reached Kunming. Among them, they met in different villages and cities. Now the experts believe that the elephants are going back again. People are creating various obstacles in the way of migration of animals. By reducing or eliminating them by interfering with the construction of roads, arable land or food supply system on the way to their relocation. The biggest hurdle in moving animals is lack of food. Mortality of traveling animals is on the rise due to lack of food. To preserve the animals, fences have to be built around their habitats, necessary bridges and tunnels have to be built for their relocation, special beaches have to be preserved. Migration events in the animal kingdom reveal the diversity of life on Earth. So people have to be very careful for the healthy coexistence of other animals with humans. That's all for today. If you enjoy our video, then please like the video and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further updates. Thank you.